Hello, it's Jam Games here once again, and today we are actually going to create the mystery box. So yeah, let's get started. First, let's go to the enum folder and let's create a new enumeration. Enumeration, this one, and let's call it like mystery mystery box underscore state. Okay, now let's open it. Let's add two enumerators. The first one should be called by, and the next one I will call it make weapon. Okay, now let's save this and close, and now we want to go to the blueprints and let's go to the interactables. Now we have this pp paste interactable. Let's just duplicate it like that, and let's call this pp underscore mystery box, or actually box, like that, and let's open it. Now here, what we want to do, we want to go to the viewport and we want to actually delete this cube. Now we want to start building the mystery box. Okay, I have already done it before, so I know what to do. So first let's add another cube. Let's call this like left. Okay, now we want to change this size from here to 0.05, like that. And now this we want to change to 0.5, 0.6, and this to 0.55, like that. Now we want to change this x to minus 97.5, and this to 43, I think. Okay, now we have it there. Now we want to add or change this material to that prototype grid interactable. Okay, so this green one. Now what we want to do, we actually want to duplicate this. Let's call it right. And now for the right part, we want to just move it to the this. Let's just put 97.5. So not minus 97, just 97.5, like that. And now what we want to do, we want to duplicate it once more and call it like front. Okay, now when you have done that, click that front thing, and now what we want to do, we want to change this to 0.05, this to 2, like that. Now let's put this to 0, and this we want to move to the 27.5. So it's here. You can see it's starting to look like a box. Now we want to duplicate this also, and let's call it back. Okay. Now we want to move that back thing. I want to just change this to minus 27.5. So it's like that. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to create the bottom part. So let's duplicate it back and call it bottom, like that. Now what we want to do, we want to actually change this. So this to 0.05, this to 0.55, like that. Now we want to move this to the 18 and this to the 0. So it's there at the bottom, like you can see. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to actually create. Let's click this default 0. Let's add another. What is it's like scene. Like let's add a new scene here. Now we want to call this scene to like rename it to like top scene, and I will show you why. Now if we duplicate this bottom and call it top and move it to the to here, to up. Okay, sorry, I have this enabled here. So let's make it like 5 and move it down. So it's there. I will just show you guys why it is not working if we do it like this, because we want it to open when we open the box. And now if we rotate this, I will show you, it will rotate like this, and it's not looking good and it's not working. So we actually want to change its pivot point. And how we want to do it is actually we will move this scene, top scene, this to the point where we want to set that pivot. So we want to move this to the -30 and 73. So as you can see, it's here at the middle and there. So that's the point where it starts to rotate. And now we want to move this top to the top scene, like that. And one more thing we want to do with this top, we want to change this to 0.6. So you can see it works like that. Now, when we rotate the top scene, it works as like a new pivot point for that top. So now, when we try to rotate it, oh, I don't know why it's not working, but now when we rotate it, you can see, sorry, let's make it like -80. You can see it works like that. So it works correctly now. Okay, let's make it back. Throw. Next thing we want to add to this is actually, let's add a little text. Oh, sorry, not like that. Let's go back to here and click this top scene and add text. Now, yeah, we want to change these to -30. Oh, sorry, -30, -3, and 55. This to 90 and 270. So it's like that, and it's not working correctly. We want to actually move this to here. Now we want to set those values. Sorry about that. So -30, -3, 55, this to 0, this to 270, like that. Now we want to click this vertical alignment to text center, and also this horizontal alignment to center. Now what we want to do is we want to change this world size to like I think 84 was good, and this text, let's change it to question mark. Now as you can see, okay, I don't know why it looks so big right now. Why does it look so big? Okay, I don't actually know. So let's oh, sorry, we have wrong things here. So let's make this 0.33. This like 0.9. This like 10. Okay, now I think it looks better. Now we want to duplicate that. Sorry, my Unreal crashed once again. Okay, let's continue. Now let's rename this text to like question mark underscore left. Let's duplicate it and call it question mark underscore R. And you can of course change these values as you want, but these are the ones that I will use. So the right one here, we want to change this to 30, so it should be there at the same position as this. And now we want to just rotate it, so let's change this to 90. Okay, and now I'm pretty sure it's working correctly. Okay, now what we want to do, there was something else that we wanted to add to here, but yeah, let's actually add those. You know, there are some pricks under the box on COD zombies. So yeah, let's add those. So let's create another cube, and let's call this like prick 1. Okay, it's not supposed to be on the top scene. It's supposed to be on the default scene root. You know, there at the bottom. We can actually close that. And now we want to change this to 0.15. Sorry, 0.15. This to 0.5 and 0.15. And now this should be like 8, and this should be minus 75. Okay, now it should be here at the bottom, and it's still not on the right spot. Oh, sorry, this should be 0. So it's there. Okay, like that. And I will actually change this material to like grid. Let's check. This is my blue grid. Okay, I will change it to that. Now I will duplicate it and call it brick 2. Okay, it automatically did it. Now let's change just this to 0 and duplicate once more. And now let's change this to minus 75. Oh, sorry, 75. Okay, like that. So 0, 70, minus 75 and 75. Okay, there they are. And now one more thing. When the box opens, we want to I will just rotate this a little bit, like minus 80. We want to get some light from the bottom of the box, you know? So let's add those little lights to there. And actually, we want to also add the weapon. So let's add let's first click the default scene root once again. And here, the skeletal mesh. And we want to just move it to like 25, something like that. So it should be there. Okay, we don't want to do anything else with that. Now let's just rename it to weapon. And the next thing, we want to add those little lights to there. So let's add let's go to default scene node once, and then point light. Now let's change these values. What I liked was 100, and here 200, and now this indirect light intensity. Let's make it 6. And I actually want to make this a little bit more yellow, but you can leave it as you want, like that. And now I want to move this to the 34 and minus 45, like that. Now let's duplicate it, and now let's just change this to positive 45. So as you can see, there are little light coming from the box. Okay, now I want to close this top again, 0 and like that. So compile and save. And now we can actually get to the fun part. So yeah, let's go to the event graph. Let's remove all these. Now let's go to the interfaces. We should have these here. So let's go to the can interact. Now what we want to do, we want to promote this to a variable like that. And let's actually make it instance editable and compile and actually make it true like that. Compile, save. Now what we want to do, we actually want to go to the is interactable, and now we have all these here. We want to promote this type to, let's rename this to interaction underscore type, like that. And let's move it to here. Let's give this a little space. So now from text we want to get a select like this. And now what we want to select it with is the interaction type. So let's get it and connect it here. So now we have all these things here. And now one thing that I noticed we want to do here is we actually want to save and go to here and to the blueprints and to the enums interaction selection. Let's add a new one called and this should be called empty, like that. Now let's move it to here at the under the none, and actually let's rename this none to like line, or what this is called. So we just know that this is like nothing. Okay, now let's save, close that. Now we have this new thing here. Now what we want to do here is actually here at the interact, let's just write take like that to here to the buy. Let's write open mystery box like that. And now to the price, we can actually promote that to a variable also. Let's call it price, and we can actually make it instance edible if we want. Or actually, I don't want to make it because, yeah, it will be like that. And now to the weapon index, let's promote this to a variable. And now we want to rename this to spin last weapon index. This sounds weird, but in like 10-15 minutes you can understand why this should be called like this. Now let's compile and save. Now let's actually go to the first person character and let's add all those things to there. So pp first person character. Now we can actually close this shotgun trace, fire weapon, and fire macro. And now what we need is interaction set text. So now we have all these things here. Okay, let's actually put them with, I think it starts from there. Oh, actually, I think like that. Okay, now it's okay. Now what we want to do here, we actually here to the empty, let's actually, oh, we want to move this even further down like that. Let's add a, okay. Now from the empty, let's get a branch. And now we want to get our hot reference interaction, hot ref like this. Now we want to get interaction accept. Now we want to get if it's playing. So is playing, is animation playing. So this one. And oh, sorry, we want to actually move this hot ref to here and connect it to here because we need to connect it to the target also. Now let's actually move all these further here. Now from here we want to get not boolean and connect it to here like that. And if it's true, so if that animation is not playing, then we want to get the href interaction text and set text and this content set text, and let us leave it like blank like that. So this just means the interaction text if we don't need it. And actually let's move this to here. Oh, sorry, I have some alarm ringing. Okay. And the next thing, let's actually, we want to actually compile and save and go to the event graph and to here and to the on interact. Now from this interact thing, we actually just want to call the, we actually want to get this interact hit actor. From here, call the on interact like this and connect it to the interact. So like that. Okay, now let's compile and save, and now I think we can close this. Now we're back at the mystery box. And what we want to do here is we have already done that and that. Now we want to go to the event graph and we can actually close these. And actually I just noticed I have written can enter cat. So I actually want to change that quickly. So now it's done. Can interact on interact. Now we want to actually click this on interact, and it creates this new thing to the here to the event graph. And now here we actually first want to check add a branch and check if we can interact. So if we have set this to interactable, okay. Now if we can interact, then we want to get the interaction type, and we want to switch on interaction selection like this. As you can see. So now we can from the first we have to set this buy thing, because first time we want to buy that. Actually, let's click this interaction type, compile, and we want to change this default to buy like that. Compile and save. Now from here, after we have bought it, we want to set it can interact false like that. And now we want to set the interaction type. We want to set it to empty like this, so it cleans the buy weapon text. Okay. And after that, we want to get our weapon. We want to actually set visibility like that. We want to set it to true like that. Okay, compile and save. Next thing, we actually want to get player character, and from here we want to cast first person character like that. Connect it to here, and now from here we want to get weapon slots, so this array, and from here we want to get, let's copy it, we want to get it 2 times, write that there also, and here we want to put 1 and here 2 like that. Compile and save. Now we actually want to split this like that, and this weapon index here, we want to promote this to a variable and connect it to here. This should be called like slot1 underscore weapon underscore index like that. Now from here, from the 2, we want to do that same thing. And let's call it slot2 underscore weapon underscore index. Okay, now we have done those. The next thing we actually want to do is we want to get data table row, this one. Or actually, we don't want to get this one, sorry. Get data table row names. Sorry, this one. Now let's connect it to here, and let's change this to weapon data table like that. Compile and save. Now we want to get from this and for each loop like that, connect it to here. And now what we want to do, we actually want to get data table and this bottom one, connect it to the loop body like that. And now we want to array element to the row name like that. Data table, let's set it to weapon data table also. And now we want to create a new integer. And we want to call it row amount like that. And now we want to get the row amount and plus plus increment integer, and to the row found only that one like that. Now we want to go here and we want to create a new custom event. So custom event. This should be open box. Okay, now we want to go back to here after all this, and for in this for each loop from here completed, we want to call it open box function like that. Okay, compile and save. And now what we want to do, we want to go to here to the open box function. And here what we want to do, we actually first want to leave some space here, some amount like this much, and let's create a timeline like this, and let's connect this to the play from start. Leave some space. Now we want to rename this timeline to like open underscore TL, so it's easy to understand. Now let's change this. Let's open it and let's make this length to 1 and track. Add flow track. Let's add 2 pins to 0 and 0, and also to 1 and 1. And yeah, now let's compile and save. Now we can close this. Now what we want to do here is we actually want to get our top scene. So this one, get it here. Let's leave some space. Now set relative rotation like that, and connect it to the update. And now from the new rotation, we want to lerp rotator like that. Now we want to connect this new track, so this alpha, to the alpha like that. And yeah, and I want to that top thing to rotate 80 degrees. So let's make minus 80. You can also make it like minus 90 if you want it to rotate like so it's like pointing straight up. But I like that it's a little bit under. Okay. Now, what we also want to do, we want to we want to get our weapon after this, and also set relative. And now we want to set the location, not the rotation, like that. This. And now we also want to get this from this new location and lerp vector like that. Now we want to put it to here, and now we want to split this A, and this AX we want to promote to a variable, and we want to call this weapon underscore X underscore location. Okay, compile, save, and now from the alpha we want to add a little in to here or reroute, and get from this to here, and let's add another one so it looks a little bit cleaner. I will align this like that. Compile and save. And now from the B we want to get a select vector, or not that. Let's get the select this bottom one. Okay. And now what we want to select it with is the we want to get this timeline's direction connected to here. Now let's add some reroutes to like here, because we want to get this to some other place also. And now to the forward, let's actually split it, and also this okay, backwards, that we don't have to split. Okay, now let's move this to here, and actually I will align this also. Okay, now to the forward X we want to also put connected weapon X location, and this forward set, I want to set this to 90. This is the height where the weapon like raises, you know. So when it opens and the weapon comes from here to like maybe here. Okay, I will show you later. And this backwards, we want to promote this also to a variable. like that. And we want to call this weapon underscore location. Okay, now I actually want to check our, let's add a few more variables to here. The first one should be float, and let's call it opening underscore time, and let's make it instance editable from here. Okay, compile and save. Now let's duplicate it, and let's call it closing slowly time. I'll show you later what this does. And now let's actually move these to here under interaction type. And this also to there. Okay, now I think it looks better. And also I want to move this pin last weapon index to here at the bottom. Like that. Okay. And row amount is here. Okay, it's okay. Everything is okay. Now what we want to do here, we want to actually get from the, we want to get from this one. From here, switch on E timeline direction. Now we want to connect this finished to there. And now let's move it to maybe here. And when it's finished, actually we don't have to add anything to here yet. Okay. Now we actually want to create one more custom event. Here, custom event. And let's call this spin. So this is the function that spins the weapons. So like it changes the weapons randomly. Okay, compile and save. Now we want to go back to here, open box, and we want to add those things to here. First we want to call that spin box. Sorry, like spin. I should actually call it spin box. I think that's better. Spin. Oh, box. Okay. I will compile and actually save all, because this has been like lagging and freezing and closing and doing a lot of weird things, so I want to be sure. So now, after this spin box and before this timeline, we actually want to okay, we actually can't do that yet. Sorry about that. We want to create another custom event to here. And oh, what was that? Custom event. And we want to call this close box. So this is the one that closes the lid. Okay. And now from here we actually want to get this weapon location and set it from the first, like that. And after that we want to connect this to reverse from end. Okay. And now what we want to set this with, let's actually split it. We want to get the weapon. We want to get relative location. Want to split it. We want to connect that y to y and set to set, like that. And now to the x, we want to actually get this weapon x location. I will show you later why. Okay. Now when that's done, let's actually move it like that. But and save. Now the next thing, we want to create that spin box function. So let's go to spin box. Now let's add a branch. So this is the function that spins the weapons, and let's actually make it spin the weapons like maybe 50 times. So let's create a new variable. Let's change the type to integer, and let's call it spin underscore index. Okay, compile and save. Now we want to get the spin index and check if it's less than 50. So the amount that we want to spin the box, how many times we want to spin the box. And if it's true, we want to get the row amount, and we want to get the random int on range, random integer on range, like this. We want to connect the row amount to the max. Okay, and now we want to set this to 1, okay, because our weapon data table starts at 1. Now we want to promote this to a variable and connect it to the true. And this variable should be called spin, spin show weapon index. Okay. And after that, we want to add another branch. Let's leave some space to here. Now we want to check that this weapon like index is not the same as, let's get this. We want to get not equal. Let's get actually this 3 times to here, like that. Okay, now we want to get or check if this index is not equal with the slot 1 weapon index. So, because we don't want to get the same weapon that we already have on the like inventory. Okay, so it's not the same as that. Now I want to connect this to also the second one. Now let's get the slot 2 weapon index. Okay, now we want to connect it to the, this bottom one. Now we want to get the spin last weapon index, so it doesn't like spin 2 times the same weapon like in a row, you know. And I will actually move this like that. And now from here we want to we want to get a and boolean. Want to connect that to there and add a pin and also like that. Now I want to align all this and connect this to the condition. Move this a little bit up. Okay. So after we have set the variable, we want to check that it's not equal as our first weapon, second weapon, or the last weapon that the box showed. Okay. And if it is one of these, so this goes to false, then we want to call the spin box again, like that. So it starts everything from the start, you know. But if it's not, then we can actually get the weapon data. First, we actually want to get a delay, because we want like first weapons spin like super fast and like every time gets we want it to every time get like slower, you know, like in Call of Duty. And now here we want to get the spin index. Okay, now we want to change this to float, like that. Now from here we want to minus 20. These are just some values that I came up with. This speed looks very good to me. Now we want to clamp this value. Clamp float, like that. Let's clamp it 1 and 50. You want to put this to 1. If it's 0, the delay might not work. Okay. And now from here we want to divide. And I want to align this once more and divide it with 100, you know, connected to the duration. So if it's like first spinning index, it's 1 still. It divides 1 second by 100, and that's the duration. And when it's over 20, it starts like to get slower, you know. And after that, we want to get a get data table row, this one. And now we want to get the move to here. Let's change it to the weapon data table. And now to here we want to actually get spin show weapon index, like this. And now from here we want to string, because we cannot turn it to name like straightly, you know. So now it changes this number to row name. Okay, now we want to split this out row, and we want to get our weapon, get it to here, and we want to set skeletal mesh asset connected to row found, like that. Okay, let's move it a little closer. And now this out row weapon mesh connected to here. And now we want to get, let's leave some space here. And spin last weapon index. Want to set this. And the value we want to set it is spin show weapon index. We want to set this weapon that we just spinned to the last weapon index, you know. Now we want to get our spin index and plus plus, so increment integer, like that. And now we want to spin box once again, so spin box, like that. So now what it does, it checks that our spin index is less than 50, so we can spin. Now it gets some random value from our data table, so from our weapons. Now it checks that that weapon number or index is not the same as our weapon in first or second hand, or the last that it's spun or spin, I don't know how to say it. And if it is some of those, then it does all this again, so it's basically gets another random value. So we don't want it to show like the same weapon 2 times in a row, or same weapons that we already have. And after that, if we can, then it calculates the delay, which is this like code here, and then it gets that weapon from the data table, sets the weapon asset, and sets that index to the last weapon index, and adds 1 to the spin index, so, and spins once again. So after this, the index should be 1. So many times that it does it until the 50, you know. When it's 50, we want to get from this false. And we want to get our spin index and set it from the false, and let's set it to 1. Let's actually set our spin index default value to 1. Okay, compile and save. Now, after this, we want to set our interaction type to interact, like that. Now we want to set can interact. Actually, let's not do that yet. Let's just first check if all our code is set here, and if we actually can. We can actually try this if it works. So let's go to the map, blueprints, interactables, pp MYSTERYBOX. And now I want to set it to like 150, I think. And it's like to 1250, so it's there at its own spot. Now we can actually try and see how it works, if my game works. So the price is 0. Now let's see if it spins. Okay, it's not working correctly, but you can see the weapon is changing randomly. And yeah, but we can't take it yet. But yeah, it's somehow working. So let's go back to here. Now let's go to the viewport. We want to actually rotate our weapon. I will move it to here so I can see how we want to rotate it. I will set it to like this as a rifle. So I'll change this rotation to -90. Okay, let's set this to -90, and now this back to 25, and let's clear this asset. Now we can try again if it's like it is supposed to be. Okay, you can see it's on the wrong position. You know, it's there at the right. It's not in the middle. The weapon is not aligned correctly, but we will add some code that calculates its length and stuff like that. But yeah, now we want to go back to the MYSTERYBOX and to the event graph. Now here to spinbox, and after all this we want to set this to can interact like that. Okay, now we want to create another custom event. So custom event. Now we want to call this close box slowly. So this is the thing that when you buy the weapon in Call of Duty, the weapon starts to go down slowly, and when it's at some point or like 5-8 seconds have passed, the box closes and you can't get it anymore. This is that function. Okay. And now what we want to do here, close box slowly. Actually, let's move it more down like that. We want to create a timeline. And actually now it's good time to compile and save, and also save all, just to be sure. Now we want to connect this to play from start like that. And closing slowly timeline. Now let's open this. And I want to make this length like 1 second also. We will make this closing slowly time variable, change this length later. Okay, let's add a flow track, and let's add this to 0 and 0, and the next one to 1 and 1. But there is one more thing that we want to do, which is we want to add this auto to here. And now we also want to add it to here, and we want to rotate this to, like, I don't know, maybe like this. So it starts slowly and it gets like faster. Okay, compile and save. Now we can close this, and actually we want to rename this timeline to closing slowly here, like that. And now from the update we want to get our weapon once again, and we want to set relative location like that. Connect to the update, and we want to set it, that new location, we want to lerp it, lerp that. And actually let's move it further. Okay, now, oh sorry, we want to split all of this, so A split, B split, and now we want to connect this new track, so that's the alpha to the alpha like that. And now these values, the B set, I want to set this to like 60, that's good for me, and this A set to 90 like that. And now we want to get the weapon set location, this one. Sorry, weapon X location. We want to connect this to the X and to the AX. Both of those, like you can see. Okay. Because later on we will have that code that checks the weapon's size and changes its location so it's aligned perfectly with the box. So if we don't add this to here, the weapon will start to like misalign with this timeline. So this fixes it. Okay. Now from the finished, we want to add a trench. And what we want to check here is actually, let's actually add another reroute to here. And let's actually move this even further down. Okay, now what we want to check here is we want to get our interaction type. We want to check if it's equal enumeration, this one. Now I want to connect this to here, and now we want to check if it's equal as interact, like that. Okay, this is okay. Now we want to set it can interact false. And also set interaction type empty. And after that we want to call the function close box, like that. Compile and save. Now, what we want to do, we actually want to go here to the up, and let's add a begin play node here. So, begin play. This is just so we can control those speeds of the timelines. So first, let's click these components and open timeline. Let's get it. And also this closing slowly timeline. Okay. Now from here we want to set play rate like this. Connect this there. And now let's actually move that to there. We want to get a divide node there, and we want to divide 1 by the value which is our opening time. Now I want to connect that to here. Now I want to change our opening time. I think I want to change it to like 0.5, so it takes half seconds to open. Then compile the save. Now from here we want to set play rate. This here also. Now from here we want to get the divide node also, like that. 1 divided by our closing slowly time, which should be, I think what I did before was 8 seconds. So it will take 8 seconds to box to close, like if we don't take the weapon. Okay, you know. And now one more thing that we wanted to do here somewhere was I actually have to check it. So here's our this. Okay, so here at the open box, close box, open timeline, and from the finished to the here, switch on E timeline direction. Here we want to, from the backwards, we want to set this interaction type. On the backwards, we want to set it back to by. So when the box closes, we want to set it back to by. So we cannot get the weapon anymore. Now we want to set the can interact to true. That's that. We want to set our spin last weapon index. Let's set it to 0. And also the row amount to 0. Now we want to get our weapon and set visibility like that. And now let's set it to false like that. Compile and save. And now we want to go here to the spin box and here to the false. And after this can interact, we want to call that close box slowly. See, so it starts to close box slowly when the weapon has been set. Okay. And now we can actually try it once again. So let's see. So when it has set, it starts to go down, as you can see, the weapon. And when 8 seconds have passed, that will go away and this will close. As you can see, now it's reset. Okay. Now we have a few more things to do still here, and those are actually I will have to check because I don't remember everything. Okay, so now we want to go to here to the interact, and we actually want to first move all this from the by function. We want to move all this like this. Now on the interact, when we interact, we want to set that can interact to false like that. And now we want to we want to copy this interaction type to here and set this also to empty like that. Now we want to set our weapon visibility, because when we get the weapon from the box, we want to set it immediately invisible, you know. And after that, we actually, I think we want to get this cast this all, get a player character and copy it to here. And what we want to do with this one, actually want to compile, and from this we want to set new weapon to slot, so that function that we created like a few episodes ago. And now we want to get our spin last weapon index. So basically the weapon index that the box has at the moment. And now after this we want to call the close box. Okay. And now I actually think almost everything is done, excluding the weapon alignment, which we will do soon. But now, yeah, now we can actually go to the can interact. No, it's interactable to here. Oh, sorry, we don't want to go to here. Sorry, we want to go to the variables, and let's set this price to like 200 maybe, so we can try if it works. And now let's actually test. So if we go to here, it should be 200. Okay. Now it's spinning. Now the weapon, when it's set, we want to get that. And we can get it. As you can see, the box works. Okay, now when we have this weapon, the box shouldn't show this weapon anymore. And as you can see, it's only cycling through those two ARs that we have, because we don't have that much more weapons at the moment. Now let's take this and get that. Now let's get some more. Actually, let's try if it works. We don't have points. Okay, we cannot get it. Now when we have, let's try. Now it will cycle between the AK and the pistol. But you can see that the weapon is not aligned correctly. But you can see the box is... let's actually see if it goes to the closest. Okay, it works. It resets and everything. And you can see there are those little lights and stuff like that. It looks pretty nice and it works like it's supposed to work. And also, with this code that we just created, when we add weapons to our this weapon data table, I will actually show you guys so you can know what I mean. Let's add like this file. You don't have to do this. I will just show you. I will add some random like rocket launcher and 6 like maybe is there like some sniper rifle B like that. Now it should show those weapons there. They doesn't work yet, so don't try that, but it will show them. Like you can see. Yeah, you can see there are all the weapons that later when we create those weapons, it should work automatically, so we don't have to do anything else basically ever to this box. Now we want to delete that 5, also that 6, and save. Now let's create the code so it aligns the weapon with the box. Okay? So let's create a new function. And then function should be called calculate weapon size. Now let's open it. Now what we want to do, first we want to get the weapon X location. Set it to here. Now from here we actually want to... Okay, sorry, I forgot one thing. Now there are like many ways to do this, but I think this was the easiest and like most like, how do you say it, like light way, so it's not... I can do this like many way, but other ways are pretty heavy. We have to use some traces and a lot of things, so I think this is the easiest way. So let's go to here. Let's actually find our weapons that we are using right now. So military weapon, dark, and weapon. And now let's find our pistol B, so basically our starting pistol. And now we want to add... We have to do this to all weapons, but it doesn't take long. So let's click this root bone, add socket, and let's call this like 1, that first socket. Now we want to just move it to from where the weapon starts. So basically, let's move it to here, and actually let's click this. Sorry, let's click that. And I think that is like, yeah, you want to zero that set always. Okay, now let's click this root bone once again, add socket. Let's call this 2. Now I want to move this to here. I want to just move it to here so I can see better where the weapons end. So like there. Now we want to just set this set to 0. Okay, you always want to zero those or it will lag or not work correctly. Okay, let's save. I want to close this. Now we have a few more weapons to go. So here we actually don't have anything else. Oh, we have the shotgun B, sorry. Now let's click the skeleton. Now let's turn it like this. Click root bone, add socket 1, and like this. Now let's move it to here and let's check if it's actually pretty nicely done. Now let's click root bone once again, add socket 2. And now we want to move this to here. Let's actually, let's click the 2. If you lose that thing, you want to click the socket once again. Now you want to move it to here, align it like it doesn't have to be perfectly, but if you, the better you do it, the better it will look. So now you want to reset this set. Okay, now let's save, close, close. Now we have 2 weapons to go, and they should be at the FPS weapon bundle. Weapons, meshes, so the AR4, and let's actually click this SK AR4 skeletons straight away, so it's easier. Now let's go to here, P-con root, add socket, let's call it 1. You want to always call these the same way. Now let's move it to here, and this should be there. Okay, now let's click this, add socket 2. And now let's go to here, let's move it to here. And I think actually with these weapons, you don't want to, like, you can see the set value here moves when we move it this way. So this is like aligned incorrectly or like rotated. So let's move it to here. And now what we want to do, we want to like reset this Y, to 0. And here the Y should be 0 or -0, it doesn't matter. Same thing. Okay, close. And now the last one, which should be this KR47. And every time we add some weapons, we will have to do this, but this takes like, I don't know, 1 minute per weapon, so it's not a lot of work. Okay, let's click here, add socket 1. Let's move it here, let's see, it's not this around there. Now let's click this, add socket 2. And let's move it to here. It should be basically there. And now we want to put this to 0. Okay, and that should be 0. Yeah. Save and close. Now we can create this code. So what we want to do here at the calculate weapon size, we want to actually get our weapon, which is this one. And we want to get distance between 2 sockets, like this. Okay, socket A name, so 1 and 2. And now we want to leave these to RTS world, like that. And now we also want to get this from this weapon, get socket location, and the socket name should be 1. And we also want to get this get world location. Now we want to get distance like this. Okay, and now from here, so basically what this gets at these 2 points socket locate, like I will show you guys with paint. Sorry, I couldn't get my paint to work for some reason. I will show you in Photoshop soon. I will first actually show you guys the code. So first thing, we are getting this distance between these points. So basically the length of the gun. So after that, we want to divide that by 2. So we get the half length of the gun. And why we want to get that is because now we want to minus from this half length. We want to minus this value like a bit the left side starting point and like pivot point of the gun. We want to get the distance between those. Now we want to minus that from that. Okay. And yeah, that basically does this. I will show you. So this is the gun, this is the point 1, this is the point 2, and here is the pivot point, like this handle usually. First we want to get this half size. So if this is 100, this whole thing, this is 50 then, so 50. Now we want to, because now the gun is, this point is, if this is the box, this point is in the middle, so the gun is like too much right. So now when we have got this, then we want to get this, and this might be like 30 maybe. So basically this with 2 divided by 2 half length, and now that length from there should be like 30. Now we want to minus that from the half length, so we get this length. This is the length that we want to move it to the left. So I will show you guys now. So now we have done it. Now we actually want to multiply it by -1, just so we can turn it to negative, because we want to turn it to negative because we want to move it left, so minus the amount like 20 units or something like that. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Now after this, we want to get our weapon once again, and we want to set relative location. Connect this to here. Let's add some reroutes here, because we need something from here. Let's get the get relative location like that, and let's split it to here. Now we want to split this, and we want to move this to there, to the X, this to the Y, and that to the Y. That. So now basically we have calculated the point where the weapon has to go with this code, and this like piece of art, you know. I'm pretty bad at this, but yeah. And now where we want to add this code is here after on the spin box, after all these, and before we set this, or actually it doesn't matter, but let's just add it to here. So now let's calculate weapon size. Put it here. Now it should work no matter what size the weapon is. If we have those points on the weapon, it should always work. I will show you. You can see it will be on the middle of the box, and it looks so much better. And now if we take a new gun, I will show you. If we take this, oh, there is a little glitch. So let's go to the content, first person blueprints, interactables, and to the, let's actually first go to the door and check if it's working. Can interact, no, no, sorry, is interactable. We want to set it to buy, yeah, buy. And now we want to actually close this door and go to the PP weapon wall buy and go to the interaction is interactable, get it as buy weapon. What did I do incorrectly? Let's actually check it. Okay, let's actually first, I will show that thing that I was showing. Let's fix that later. Okay, so if I get this weapon, I don't know why it was lagging like a while ago. What the fuck? So basically, if I open that, it's like, I don't know what happened before. That was some kind of glitch, I think. Okay, now I have this weapon. If I change that AK to my pistol, so I don't have the pistol anymore. Now you can see with the pistol better the alignment, you know. You can see I will first get some points. Now you can see the alignment better. So you can see the pistol is aligned also to the middle. This is looking basically exactly like in Call of Duty. Okay, I think that's pretty nice. And now you can just change the box's price to 950 or whatever you want. But let's actually not do it yet because we have still a lot of things to do and try, you know. So basically, when we now spin it, it will always be in the middle. And when it stops spinning, so it gets the random weapon, we can buy it, and now the second weapon can start spinning also. So it works. And now, actually, I want to try once more. I think my Unreal is glitching because my box just disappeared, but let's try once more. So if this door works, it works. If this wall buy works, it works. And I don't know what the glitch was about before. Where are all the zombies? I think they are here. Okay, now I can buy this again. Yeah, but you can see everything works here pretty nicely. The weapon goes down and stuff like that. Yeah, and if you want to change those values, like how fast I'll show you. Okay, we cannot click the box from here because it glitches. If we want the opening time, change this to like 1, and this closing slowly time to like 3. Now you can see how it looks. So when we open it, the top will open much slower. Yeah, and the weapon will start go away much faster. 2, 3. Okay, as you can see. And I will change those values back to what they were. Like closing time 8, I think that was good. And opening time like 0.5. And yeah, I will show you one more thing. Let's see how long this has been going. 1 hour 12 minutes. Okay, this is my longest video, but I think this is pretty good. Took me like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours to like create the first time. Because I always create, I have 2 times this project. I always create create this first and then just like copy it from my other project. So it's not like, it is easier to follow on my video and I don't do or make like that many mistakes. But yeah, what I wanted to show is let's actually add a few more weapons to here. So 5, let's now, you don't have to do this. Let's actually, oh fuck, we have to add those points or those sockets to them, so I don't actually want to do it, so I will delete this. And yeah, but you can see everything is working. Everything's working pretty nicely. The weapons are aligned with the box, and the box works. And now it is... Oh, one more thing. Sorry about that. And sorry, I totally forgot that. We want to go to the interact set text. And what we want to do here is we want to, now we have the empty interact, and so what we want to do here is, first one is correct, but this interact thing is not correct here. We want to change this a little bit. We forgot before. So what we want to do here, we actually want to go to here and copy this get data label row like that and paste it to here and connect it here in between these things like that. And also from the row found we want to connect it to the set text, and now we want to actually move it further there like that. And now here we have this, I press E to text, okay, and we want to add one another thing here like this, and that, and weapon, and that. Now we should have this weapon slot here. Now what we want to get is this out row socket name connected to the weapon, so it gets the weapon socket name. Okay, now let's save and close this, and now I will show you that it works. So let's get the error 4. I don't know why I Did that? Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. Now let's buy this. Now when the weapon is chosen, it should show its name. So press E to take KA-47, and let's try one more time. Sorry, I had to get some points. So now the shotgun should be just called shotgun, I think. Yeah, press E to take shotgun. You can rename them as you like, but yeah. Let's see the pistol. What? Okay, we found another glitch. Sorry, I thought that everything was already done, so I will check it quickly. Sorry. And I already found it. That's just some easy thing. So at the PP mystery box and on the open box, we want to add that little thing here that I talked about before. I told you guys that we want to leave some space here, and I forgot it. Now we want to get our closing slowly timeline, this, and we want to just stop like this, because this is the one that makes glitch sometimes. And now after like 1.5 hours, everything should be done. Let's see. Everything is working nicely. A47, let's try once more. Working. Now it will say AR4 one more time. And pistol 1, so that's still called pistol 1, but it works. And you can see the weapon goes there, and if we don't take it, and we buy again, it starts like again, and everything should work. So yeah, now you guys have this have the random weapon box. One more thing I want to do. Okay, I can't do it, but I just wanted to align it with these like squares, but it doesn't actually matter. But yeah, I think that was all for this video. If you like what you saw, please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't done it yet, because yeah, I have done like this took take me like many hours to do, and yeah. So yeah, this was the mystery box video. Yeah, in the next episode, I don't actually know what we're going to do, but I don't know. Let's see you on the next episode. Yeah, bye.